Welcome to another episode of Gaming Performance. I am back with another video, and this time I want to discuss with you a few things. But before I get started with this, I have to say thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your suggestions. Thank you for your encouragement. It has helped me come a long way in finding solutions to problems I noticed while trying to be competitive online in games like Call of Duty. You got other games like Valorant, you got CSGO, etc. I have been looking for a solution to find how to be on time with the server because it gains you an advantage. And I've been looking for this for a very long time. It's what caused me and motivated me to create this channel. You may notice a lot of videos on COD. That is the game that I like to play. It's something that I've been trying to fix for a while now. I just couldn't quite seem to figure out what it was. I had always thought maybe it was the router, maybe it was the modem, but it never really changed anything. I also thought it may have been the computer, so I changed that out, got a new motherboard, got a CPU, video card, RAM, and although that seemed to improve on my ability to be competitive, it didn't really solve it fully. It was like going from no improvement to like 35-40% improvement. You know, you notice something and it was enough to notice that a metric had changed where you okay, I'm getting a little better here. I can actually see people and they're not popping on the screen and you don't know where they came from, that kind of stuff. But it just wasn't a complete fix. And knowing that that game uses engagement optimized matchmaking, I decided to chalk it off to the developers and how they made the game. However, when I tried the reverse boost, I was still seeing some of those issues. Now, it's an easier lobby and I'm able to play a little better, but those nagging issues still persist. So reverse boosting helped me to understand that it wasn't them that was the problem. It was something that I was using that was causing the problem, and I was trying to find a common denominator. Even though I changed everything out, I got a new PC, got a router, got a new modem, but there's a common denominator. I said, Lord, please help me, Heavenly Father. I know I said something to that effect a good while back, and I was wondering what was causing this. What is the I knew it was a common denominator. That's what came to me, a common denominator. I just didn't know what it was, and I was trying to figure out what's left. It took me a while. I never gave up on it, and I started looking into some things. I was trying to figure out, okay, maybe lower latency on the PC, and I followed some guides. There's some great guides out there tell you how to lower latency on your PC and all that other stuff. And I got it down to where I got the lowest latency possible, and still that didn't quite fix it. And I'm just like, okay, maybe I need more frames, the frames, right? Chasing those frames. And I decided, maybe 400 frames a second will do it. Nope, still didn't. And I'm trying to figure out what is it, and it keep coming to me, a common denominator. And I'm trying to figure out what that common denominator was. I was sitting here thinking, and it dawned on me, a secret from a long time ago. We're going back to Battlefield 2. There was a little trick that we did in Battlefield 2 to gain the advantage on opponents until everyone knew about it, started doing it, and you lost the advantage. And so that was, back then, to change your network adapter setting from 1 gigabit to 100 megabytes. And as crazy as that sound, it worked because you didn't need 1 gigabit of speed. And even though back then there was no such thing, the best you could get back then was 20 megs or something, like 20 meg up, 20 meg down. You were doing good back then. That's what it took. And for some reason, it worked. It worked. And you can drop shot people and you can do all kinds of stuff. You will see them before they see you, and you can aim on them before they can aim on you, even though both of you come out in the street at the same time. There was a lot of stuff going on back then that, we had to learn about how they network and how they do things. But be that as it may, it worked. I've forgotten about that. It didn't register why back then. I just knew it worked. I didn't know anything about network cards. And yes, we did all the little tweaks on the network card, and that really didn't do anything. But that one tweak made a huge difference. Thinking on it now, I realized that when you play first-person shooter games online, you don't need a lot of download speed or upload speed. You just need to be able to process packets in a timely manner that will allow you to see what the server sees, basically. That was why it worked back then in Battlefield. That was a well-known secret that a lot of competitive players were doing. You just, everyone was on an even playing field. So to anybody who didn't know, you got the raw end of that deal. To this day, I believe that tweak still works. You don't need a lot of speed. You just need to be able to process packets in a timely manner. So what was it about changing the network adapter speed from 1 gigabit to 100 megabytes? Back then, I don't know if you still have it on your computer. Back then, when you did that, the little green light would go from green to amber. And that means you were on a slower speed. And you had to switch it back whenever you finish playing, so that when it was time for you to download, you can download at the right speed. Because I think even then 100 megabytes, I don't think that it was that fast, even though it was 20 megabytes or something like that. I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember this exactly, but I do remember switching it back every time I got finished my playing session. So, and I know I'm getting long-winded. I apologize. Bear with me here. However, the point is, I believe God gave me an answer. He gave me a solution. And I believe that the problem, the common denominator, was the network adapter on the motherboard. Even though you switch out to another motherboard, the common denominator always remained how well that network adapter worked that was on board your motherboard. How did I come to this conclusion? I realized that going back down to 100 megabytes did improve network latency to a degree that I was able to aim down sight faster than my opponent. It didn't change the round trip latency in the match I was playing. It didn't lower that at all. It had nothing to do with that. But it did help me to be more competitive and to win more one-on-one gunfights. So having remembered that, I decided to go ahead and update and buy a better network adapter and plug it in the PCI slot. Lo and behold, now I'm doing a whole lot better, and I don't need to reduce the speed. For whatever reason, these network adapters that are built into the motherboard, they may be great for downloading, they may be great for browsing, but I do not believe they're adequate for gaming, especially when you're dealing with being able to send, receive, and process small packets, and a lot of them. Whether you decide to let the CPU do it or you let the network card do it, doesn't matter. You can make things worse by these tweaks that they tell you to do to the network adapter, because the network adapter, in my opinion, simply cannot handle the tweaks that you're trying to make it do. Leaving it on default is the best setting for that. And the only thing that you really can change is the speed, going from 1 gigabit to 100, and seeing if buying a better network adapter card is not going to help. You just can't buy anything. Trust me, I've tried, and having done so, bought a network adapter that worked for a few days and then started crapping out on me. And so, so you just can't buy anything. You got to buy from a reputable manufacturer, from a reputable place. You just can't buy any old thing. The first one I bought, it was something off of Amazon. It was by a company, I don't know, BBC or something like that. I'm just making it up. Although it worked, I would have a tendency to pause in the middle of a game and then resume. And although it didn't indicate an error, it was something going on where it happened a lot. Almost every second or third game, I would get this odd pausing. And that was a direct result of the network card. It just couldn't handle data, and it would just have a little bit of brain fart there and then start working again. So you got to buy from a reputable manufacturer, Intel or Gigabyte, whoever. Make sure you get a good quality network adapter, because that is very important. I also realized that a network adapter you have now is supposed to be capable of 1 gigabyte. If you were to buy 1 gigabit of service from your ISP, would you be able to download and upload at speeds of 1 gigabyte? The answer is no. And that was another thing that I got a revelation on. These network adapters on these cards, even though it says it can function at that speed, is overrated. It dawned on me. The problem is the network card on the motherboard. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Did not seem to self-correct until they came out with the 10 gigabyte network adapter cards. With 10 gigabyte network adapter cards, you actually do get 10 gigabit speeds, more or less. Unfortunately, at the time of this video, we're not there yet where 10 gigabit is the standard for download uploads. We're far from it. We're just getting the 1, and I'm assuming sometime in the future that I think they might go to 10, but that's neither here or there. When I made that change, my level of competency, Call of Duty, had drastically increased to the point where I was getting nukes and I knew it wasn't just, oh wow, I just made it by the skin of my teeth kind of. You know, when you get a good gameplay and you just happen to know you hit long enough, you didn't get opponent spawning in the back of you kind of thing. But this time I had a little bit of more commanding presence in the game to really justify that, yes, this guy really did nuke. And I started to see this difference. And because of that, I now realize that this is the fix. The fix is getting a better network adapter that can process small packets and allow me to be on time with the server, regardless of my frame rate, regardless of the audio, regardless of the router, regardless of the modem. It was the network adapter, and that was the fix. And now, having explained this to you, and I apologize, this is a little long-winded. However, I don't know what other content I can give you moving forward. This is basically what I've been looking for. This is why I created this video. So I don't know the next time I'm going to provide you another video on how to gain more performance out of your PC, because this is the real deal. This is how I've been gaming, and this is how I've been having fun. And now I'm like, wow, I never thanked people for the long journey here. Some of y'all have been with me since the beginning, and I just had to say, thank you. Thank you for everything, your patience, your time, effort put in with me and dealing with me, knowing that I don't pump out content every week or every month. I want to share this with you because this has been a long journey for several years. I hope that you benefit from it, have the ability to find something that will allow you to get the same experience I do. But other than that, I don't know the next time I'll be able to provide a video. I'm not going to lie to you. But I do thank you for your time. Have a nice day.